I'm going to test all of it.
All right. All right. Every single individual cookie, you're going to take a bite of one, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't threaten me with a good time. You understand?
All right, get to work. Just kidding, get away from me. How's everybody doing? Are you cold? Yeah, a little bit worse for the wear, a little damp. Well fed? Did you find some awesome new products here?
Yes.
How many people are here because they're just starting to find out and become interested in more plant-based styles of eating and more plant-based products? Who's here because they're vegan and greedy and hungry? Nice. So I will say that this, first of all, my name is Doron Petersan, and I'm the owner of Sticky Fingers Sweets and Eats in Columbia Heights in Washington, D.C. And that's right. And last year I opened a restaurant called Farewell, which is, yeah, all by myself. I did all by myself, not really. There's like 30 people there today holding it down. So this, I have to say, this is the first year since VegFest has started that we didn't do a table. And it's killing me. So I'm really excited and happy to be a part of today, and thank you for allowing me the time to show you how to make some cookies if you haven't made them already. And I felt so guilty about not having a table here that we brought you some of our samples. So yeah, we'll just toss those out a bit. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit about cookies, because I love cookies. It's one of my favorite things. Who loves cookies? Yeah, the rest of you are lying. And like, I know cupcakes have been awesome and really like, oh, they're super cute and they have the frosting and the filling and you can jam a whole bunch of stuff in there and then you can charge a lot of money for them and they fit cute in a cute little box and they're great. But really, cookies are amazing. Cookies are the most fun thing to make because the batches are large, so there's a lot of cookies that you can eat. You can freeze the dough, you can eat it raw, and also, this is a secret that I don't share with a lot of people, but you can take cookie dough, put it in the microwave, cook it for 30 seconds, and cook it in a mug, put ice cream on top of it, and you have a hot cookie. Now, I don't know if that happens and works with non-vegan cookies, but it works with all of the cookie dough that I have tried and tasted and tested in my house, and it's crazy, and that is why I could never be, 120 pounds and super buff and fit, because I have cookie dough that I can put in the microwave and eat it at will in my house. And you can too, and I'm going to show you how. If you guys have any questions, we're just going to wait to the end, but we're going to move through this really quickly, and I'm going to show you how you can take the base for what we do for our chocolate chip cookies, and you can create any cookie that you want from that, all right? So we have a cookbook, I have a cookbook, it's from Sticky Fingers, it's all of our recipes, they're real, you'll be like, why is it like 1 cup, 2 tablespoons, 1 teaspoon? Because that is how detailed we are. There are also weights in those books. Weights are the best way to make sure that you're getting your correct and exact and consistent baked good every single time, right? So the thing about baking is you can't just like take some baking soda and throw it over here and just take some sugar and chuck it over there. Like, everything works together for a reason. I realized when I was in school for food science and nutrition that, oh, this is about the science. This isn't about the egg and the dairy per se. Now, an egg has a very specific chemical makeup that is generally the same per each type of egg from each type of animal, generally, percentage-wise. Same thing for cow's milk, goat's milk. So there are things that work really well when you're baking with eggs and dairy that make it difficult to take them out and put something else in, right? So you can't just take a banana and put it in there with some applesauce. They do different things in different recipes. The reason that I love cookies is because the first cookie recipe I made, I took the eggs out, I didn't put anything else in, and it worked. I made a cookie. And if you're looking at it from a chemical standpoint or from a science standpoint, it's all based on percentages when you're baking, right? That's our next lecture. That's the, chemical baking, 100% is your flour, and then you base all of your other percentages off that. It's a lot of math, it's awful. We're not gonna talk about that today because it's raining and you guys are gonna kill me because I have cookies waiting here for you. So, but when you take out a part of that percentage that is equal, you're just making that amount smaller. So it's like taking out a piece of the pie, you still have a pie, right? It's not gonna destroy the pie or make the pie taste different, you're just taking out a piece of the pie. And that's what happened when I took the egg out. So I didn't replace it. And we played with egg replacers, we played with flaxseed. We use a myriad of other things in all of our other recipes, depending on what we need, but for cookies, they're so easy to make and tried and true. So, here's the trick. You need to buy my book. No, just kidding. So, basic ingredients. The more simple you keep things, the less ingredients you have that are going to change or influence the recipe, right? So right here, I have some, different ingredients that we can use, but really the only thing that goes into our cookies is flour. We use unbleached, unbromated, that's gonna get messy in a second. Unbleached, unbromated flour. It's the right ash content, right consistency every time. Have we ever ran out and had to run to the store and bought like whatever random generic flour? Yes, and it works. But unbleached, unbromated, they're chemical processes. This is a little bit better for you, so it's dessert, right? Take a risk, but the cleaner we can get on our ingredients everywhere, the better. So then we have sugar, just straightforward sugar. The thing that makes white sugar the easiest and the best for cookies is because the grain is small. So if you're using like a demerara or like a raw sugar, those grain, the crystals of sugar take a while to break down when you're mixing. And the more you have to mix and the more you have to break down that sugar, the more crunchy it's gonna get. So you're not gonna get that soft, chewy cookie. So who was born in like 1970 and before? Right? You remember all those really awesome healthy cookies that we grew up with? Yeah, they were gross and nobody wanted to eat them. And it was torture growing up. It was torture growing up in the 70s and having a sweet tooth. But that's kind of, the old style of healthier baking. You want to use fruit juices or fruit sugars. It changes the consistency of the baked product. So when you're baking, you really making those huge jumps, going from one type of sugar to a completely different type of sugar isn't going to work. You can't go from butter to oil. You can't go from a powdered sugar to a granulated sugar. So those are the things that are really important to keep in mind. Now, if you're looking for an organic sugar or you want to make sure that you're using a certain manufacturer, you can definitely do that and get the same grain. So we're going to take the sugar and we're going to put it in a separate bowl. This is just your average, everyday, non-hydrogenated, non-trans fat-free margarine from some random store. And we use about a pound. That's right, hands. That's how you cut your butter. And then the most important thing, you have to wipe it on the table when you don't have a towel. You have to cream your butter and your sugar. I say butter because butter is a process. It doesn't mean it's from dairy milk, it's butter, it's margarine. Margarine implies that it's hydrogenated, so we often say vegan butter. So creaming is going to break down the grain of the sugar. The other thing it's doing is it's allowing some air to get in between the fat and the starch grains in the sugar. There's a little bit of starch. Sugar also turns to liquid when you hit it with oil and water, right? So it gets nice and soft, and that's going to help with mouthfeel. So when people come to you and ask, can you make me a sugar-free cookie? You say, no, that is called a cracker, and I cannot make that for you because it won't work and it won't taste the same. Graham crackers are delicious. They're extremely low in fat. This cookie, not so much. Look how much fat that is. You know what? And it's good. It tastes good. But you're not going to eat 100 of them. But if you eat one every night, you might look like me. Alright, so see how it's kind of grainy? That's okay. If you wanted to whip it up a little bit more, you could get it a little bit creamy. What you don't want is for it to get liquidy. Once it starts to get liquidy and melts down, it's like oil, and it makes your cookies heavy. Right, so next most important thing, your flavor. Vanilla, oil, use a really nice, lovely oil. Can you use olive oil? Sure, it's a little bit heavy, but who doesn't love a nice, flavorful cookie? Very high-end vanilla. I don't care if you go with straight vanilla beans, I don't care if you go with vanilla paste, I don't care if you go with vanilla extract, do not use vanilla flavor, it doesn't taste good. You want pure vanilla. Vanilla travels on fat. Those flavors travel on fat. You have to mix your vanilla in with your